Hello, comrades, and welcome back to Steve on Steve Plays Hearts of Iron 4 a la Kaiserreich with the new El Condor Paza update. I'm not entirely sure what it's meant to do. I just know that there have been a few map changes, a few events, stuff like that. They also removed the stability system, I think, which is weird because I really like that. Maybe they got a lot of complaints about it. I don't know. But as you probably guessed from the title of this video, we will be reforming the USSR. So look at this, Russia, this mauled, mangled, disemboweled republic, as we will try to fix and rebuild socialism. And a new submod for Kaiserreich came out today that I'll be playing with, called, oh shit, I don't remember what it's called. I think it's just the Kaiserreich Soviet Union submod. And it basically adds a lot of flavor and a lot of, good national focuses for the Soviet Union, because the vanilla Kaiserreich ones were not the best. So that should be fun. And yeah, let's get right into it. Alright, so the Russian Republic starts out in a pretty shit place. I'm sure y'all are more or less familiar with the world of Kaiserreich. Germany wins the First World War, Russia gets wrecked, it has a brief communist revolution, Lenin gets assassinated, the Whites retake Moscow and Petrograd, the revolution is crushed, and this shitty kind of failed social democracy is trying its hardest to stay on its legs, which isn't going terribly well for them. This fella, Alexander Kerensky, is gonna get assassinated in the next 5 days, so that should be fun. Let's pick our research, but we'll also be trying to make the revolution happen as soon as possible. Which probably means that this research will be unfinished, but it's fine. There's no point reorganizing our army right now, as when the revolution fires, they will all get reorganized anyway. So we'll have to change it anyway, but we might just move them all to Pichotная Divizia with engineers support, because that's the best template to start with. We'll delete all of these rubbish templates. Let's check our production, stop these shitty submarines, move this destroyer to the bottom. We might as well finish the destroyer and then we'll start building convoys. We don't need interwar bombers because I don't think they're very good, at least not in Europe. We'll get rid of Weltkrieg-era tanks, because tanks, from my experience, aren't very important in Kaiserreich. In fact, the only people I've ever seen use tanks was Austria and Germany, and maybe France, and they've had like, what, 2 tank divisions, so it's really not a problem. Or, a big thing that needs to be taken care of. So yeah, we want to produce as much infantry equipment and artillery, because we are severely running out of equipment. We have 76 support equipment for an army of 128 divisions. Amazing. Let's try to build a military factory, but that won't be built before the revolution happens, will it? Oh shit, it will actually. That's nice. The revolution, I usually manage to make it fire at around March. I've had a few test runs, and like a while ago I couldn't get it to fire until like November, but now I think I've figured out how to make it happen sooner, which I think is great. Yeah, this one won't get done. Straight for a bit of rubber. And now we pause and let's see some juicy events. A troubled history. After the October Revolution, anti-Bolshevik forces started to consolidate across the former Russian Empire, leading to a massive rebellion against the Soviet Republic in Siberia and the Don and Kuban steppes during the middle of 1918. The White Movement made considerable gains but could not defeat the well-placed Red Army, which still dominated the Russian industrial heartland and transportation networks. The war changed when the German Empire, fearing the success of a dangerous ideology, intervened on behalf of the Whites in exchange for recognition of the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk. By the January of 1920, both Moscow and Petrograd had fallen to the White forces, and a new Russian Republic was established in the former imperial capital. For the past 15 years, the leading political parties, the Social Revolutionaries and Cadets, have governed an uneasy coalition under Kerensky, maintaining their power through electoral manipulation and a lack of serious political opposition. Today, Russia is becoming increasingly unstable, and other political forces are growing. They consider that it is now time for change, so that the country may once again assert its power in the world. Long live Russia, one and indivisible. So yeah, in the real timeline of our world, Germany defeated Russia and started forcing Brest-Litovsk payments and released all of these countries, but then they got wrecked by the Western Allies, so none of that happened. But here, they wrecked the Western Allies as well. So we still have to pay them reparations, and all of these nations are still in their faction, their puppets, except the Ukraine. which makes me very sad. The Russian Constitution, great. Okay, the Russian economy it's terrible, we should strengthen it. And look, tomorrow, the assassination of Kerensky. The sound of gunfire rings across the capital. Alexander Kerensky, the president of the Russian Republic, was shot and killed by an assassin while he was climbing the steps to the Senate House. His killer was shot dead by the military police before he could make his escape. His motives will forever be unknown. Regardless, the fate of Russia has been irrevocably changed, for better or for worse. I can never pronounce that word right. A shot that will ring across the world. Okay, so shit goes bad, political instability, the Senate has taken over, and now we'll get a few choices to, who takes power. So the assassination of our long-term president, Alexander Kerensky, has thrown the country into chaos. The Mensheviks are like socialists light, who are against the Bolsheviks. Baron Wrangel was a white army general who was considered a legend by many. He'll basically make a dictatorship. Kornilov is like an army dude, and he'll make an interim government, or try to bring the Romanovs back. We don't want none of that shit, so we will make the Mensheviks form a cabinet, including Alexei Rykov. Soon we'll get an event to appoint a prime minister, and we will pick a very nice person. Yeah, these fuckers declared independence because Kerensky got murdered. Acting president addresses the Duma. So basically, the way to make the revolution happen very soon is basically you have to tank your stability to minus 90%, which is very easy in these next few months, and I hope that will be demonstrated effectively. All right, so Sturmer died. Oh no. Appointing a prime minister. We can stay with the Mensheviks and try to make the government work. We can make the liberals and go more democratic, or these are extreme times when we need a shot of Bolshevism. Nikolai Bukharin. Yes, please, look at him. So yeah, and yeah, okay. We need to make stability tank even more. There's going to start to be strikes and stuff that will further wreck stability. Also, Black Monday will happen, and the Brest-Litovsk reparations, which will be the final nails in the coffin. Let's organize our navy whilst we're at it, why the hell not, and our tiny, outdated, horrible air force. So yeah, there we go. Payment of the Brest-Litovsk reparations. During the Berlin Conference of November 1935, the Germans forced us to repay the remaining part of the Weltkrieg war indemnities, agreed upon in the Brest-Litovsk Treaty of 1918. 1 year earlier than expected, which has put the government in a delicate position. The current budget for 1936 is already stretched to bare minimum, and if we are to pay the accursed Teutons, the cabinet sees no alternative than increasing property taxes. Even increasing taxes will primarily anger the bourgeoisie. The other cuts in government spending will be most harshly felt in the social services sector, and in many homes of invalided. I think the words should just be invalid. War veterans depending on the state's support. Our citizens were already disgruntled and unsatisfied with the incumbent coalition of cadets. The Social Revolutionaries united under the more popular president, under the even more unpopular presidency of Kerensky, and shit will go bad. So yeah, we'll lose 24% stability. Our factory output collapses. Okay, not as bad yet, but Black Monday will hit us as well very soon. Very soon indeed. But yeah, for now, no profits from the legation cities. Whatever, doesn't really matter to me. There we go. Black Monday. On the 3rd of February 1936, the Berlin Stock Exchange stopped sinking. It plunged. Fueled by the instability of the market panic, selling erupted as soon as the stock market opened on Monday morning. It took well to the night for the teleporters to stop sputtering out the results of what became known as Black Monday. When the results had been analyzed, it was clear that the situation had only gone worse. The shock of this unprecedented economic catastrophe will no doubt be felt all over the entire world. The German Golden Ages has ended, for now at least. Yeah, we're about to get hit by it hard. Meanwhile, we can do the Ochranka, which, I mean, sure. It gives us +5 stability, and I don't want to do that, so I'm gonna pass on that. Electoral gridlock in France, that's a shame. Afghanistan is at war, it's about to get its ass handed to it, unfortunately, and lose like a bunch of territory, but whatever. Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, after the Weltkrieg, the British Raj collapsed, which is, I think, is really fun. Yeah, and some of them are even communists, which is really cool. But yeah, there's been a lot of communism all over the world. South America, Mexico, Central America, Mexico, soon the United States, France, Britain, Northern Italy, soon in Indochina and India. It's a good time to be a communist in this world. Marx would be proud. Okay. Yeah, I love the fact that Italy got split into a bunch of territories. I think it's really cool. And Sardinia is a thing, for some reason. Black Monday hits Russia. Cool. Shit is fucked, yo. Stability is low, and we're about to push it even lower. Production is completely collapsed, which is great. Yeah, things aren't great. General strike, there we go. Now these are the events that I wanted. Minus 6% stability, further lower production. Start building convoys. Yeah, things are about to get a lot worse very quickly, which is great. Come on, let's go, guys. Stall the negotiations with the strikers, minus 8% stability. And the more we do the stalling, the bigger the stability hits, which I think is awesome. Weekly stability is increasing by 1.8. That's annoying, but we'll have to deal with it, I guess. Stall the negotiations. Minus 8 stability. The Papal Conclave. Yeah, there's a new Pope. Good for him. In my last test run, Germany, General Strike expands. Minus 10 stability. Oh man, we're gonna get fucked. I love this. But yeah, in my other test run, the second Weltkrieg between France and Germany broke out in like June of 1936. That was pretty crazy. What's this? We do not want to improve stability, so no thank you. We want the opposite of the improvement of stability. Sorry, just had a bit of water. Oh, we actually did manage to research something, that's nice. Can we do radio? Will we have time to finish the radio? I don't think so. Alright, stall the negotiations even further, minus 64% stability. Okay, it's already getting a bit late. Oh, perfect, just as I was saying it. Alright, the Bolshevik workers are demanding a return to the proletarian dictatorship. The peasants are seizing lands from the state, and the Internationale is heard once more in the streets of its capital. Bukharin believes that we could use the situation to end the political crisis and establish a new political system in Russia. So we can do three things. We can do, why is this Bolshevik in our government, send him away, which starts a civil war, which will be fun. We can do, invite the Soviet leaders to set up a popular front, which basically an attempt to save democracy, which I think you can, when you do that, I think you can then go restore the proletarian dictatorship, which is the same as just clicking this button. So we will just do that. And look at that. Soviet Russia. The Soviet power is back. But we do need to make a new... Look at that. We have a brutal change of the economy, and we have a divided party. So there's a lot of stuff that we need to fix really quickly. So we want to fix the economy, which is going to take a bit, actually, unfortunately. But the priority right now is to... So yeah, this is the expanded focus tree in the submod, which I think it's a vast improvement. I think it leaves some of the older stuff because this stuff was actually pretty good, and actually reforms all the political and army stuff, which is great. So we can't do Red Army or economy because we need to finish our politics business. So let's do the revolution complete, which will have our which will trigger the elections between who will become leader, and let's start actually trying to rebuild our country. Yeah, things aren't great. This is a big problem. We want to get rid of that as soon as possible. Yeah, these didn't get finished, which is unfortunate because now we're a bit behind on them, but whatever. I guess that's life. We have to, once again, redo all of the military factories and reassign all of our armies, which is fine. I'm totally okay with doing that. Boom, done. Get some convoys. We don't have any resources now because, like, the tag hasn't switched, I think, but in like one tick we'll get all our resources. Time to organize our armies. We have a lot of troops. Okay, all of the traditional World War II Soviet commanders are... Oh shit, they've added a few with this new mod. Damn, that's cool. I didn't realize that Semyon Budyonny is a field marshal. That's good for him. Freaking Stalin is a general. That's cool, man. That is really cool. Well, we're going to try to make Stalin leader. So it'd be interesting if he can be leader and general at the same time. So let's see. Field Marshal will make our main Field Marshal Michael Frunze. He's a really cool dude. In the real timeline, he died too early, which was very sad, but he was a great commander, and he will remain a great commander. So let's start to divide our armies and put them along the proper lines. Yep, that works for me. This might take a bit, I'm sorry. Because we started with a lot of troops and they're all very disorganized, so like it needs to be done, I'm afraid. Okay, so now we're organized, and we have 2 commanders, if I recall correctly, that can have 30 command 30 troops, which is great. So our first one is our good friend Georgy Zhukov, who is not a tank leader in this version of the world, although Konyev is, and Vasilevsky, but neither is Rokossovsky, which is pretty interesting. Shapashnikov will be the second one because he also has the extra troops modifier. I'll give him some of these as well, actually. We'll put... I really want to put Stalin in charge of something because that's awesome. That's a very iconic photo of Stalin. We'll put Vatutin in charge because Vatutin is amazing. And Meretskov. Meretskov is one of my favorites. He's just great at everything. Yeah, courier officer, that makes sense to me. That seems like an appropriate trait for Stalin. Alright, we'll put Zhukov on our border with the Alash Orda. Because we want to take them out soon. Well, I mean, we're not going to take out anybody for like a year, which is unfortunate. We need to rebuild our economy because we don't have the guns for war, like, at all. And we need guns to war. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Alright, let's do Mongolia. Boris, I keep calling him Boris, I don't know why. Roman von Umür-Sternberg, the new fucking Genghis Khan, is gonna go to war with the Maklik soon if they haven't already. But yeah, in the real timeline, Sternberg did try to do a shitty expedition to Mongolia, but he got his ass kicked and he had to leave. In this one, he overthrew the Mongolian government and has made himself Khan, which is hilarious. Also, Kolchak, Admiral Kolchak, if you know your history of the Russian Civil War, was the leader of the White Movement, and there's a lot of very fun propaganda posters of him. And he managed, in the real world, he was arrested and shot, but since the White Civil War, the White Swan Civil War, he escaped here and set up his own kind of puppet state under the Japanese control, which is interesting. I wouldn't have thought of that, but I'm glad that the Kaiserreich team did, you know, I really like that. But yeah, we'll put Stalin on the move to the Don-Kuban Union. I think it'd be only fitting if he was the one to lead the liberation of the Caucasus, including his homeland of Georgia, with Grigori, or Grigol, that can't be right, or Djokanidze, who's a very famous Bolshevik. And within like a few months he gets replaced by Lavrenti Beria, which I don't know why. I don't think there's like any events, and they have a generic focus tree, so I'm not sure how that happens. I'm gonna put Vatutin on the border with Finland, because we will go to war with Finland eventually. And we'll send Meretskov to the Far East in case we need to put pressure on their government eventually, because we will. And I think we could pause for like a minute. Soviet power has been established. If only Lenin could see us now. All of our resources have been spawned. This is great. Yeah, we're back in business, baby. We are back in business. Right now we can actually trade, I think. Yep, let's trade for some rubber. Yeah, production is going to be minus 30%, which is I think something that this mod adds. And it's going to be harder than without the mod, but it's good. You know, it's realistic. I like that. It makes sense. Brutal change of the economy. It makes sense that things will slow down for a bit. And a divided party. Let's do our elections. Actually, should we? Or should we leave that for the next episode? I think this has been a good enough setup episode. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Leave any comments, recommendations, questions, or suggestions in the comments below. And be sure to check out my Twitch. I stream there regularly now. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.